What's going on, everybody? I am Jordan Friday, aka King Friday. Hope you're all having an amazing day today. Now, you all know that I'm a massive fan of LG, so when they asked if they could send me a bunch of their projectors for me to check out, I couldn't say no. And after living with these projectors for a while, I really feel like LG has something for everybody. And if nothing else, and obviously there is something else or there wouldn't be a video right now, you are always going to be getting the LG mark of excellence that you and I have come to know. So we're going to be looking at each of these projectors in different test environments. I set up a dark room, I set up some direct light, and I also set up some indirect light to be able to put all of these projectors through their paces. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to make the right choice in what LG projector you should put in your next installation. So anytime that you're doing a workflow and you're putting a projector into a room, there are a couple of factors that you want to take into account. Everything from the size of the screen that you want to project to the distance your projector can or has to be from the screen's gain or reflectiveness, and the ambient lighting that is in the room. But LG keeps it simple with their projector line by making sure that they keep the general I/O consistent between each of the projectors. However, they change the most important factors between each of the price points. So specifically the ANSI lumens value, or the brightness of the projector, the resolution, its aspect ratio, and its throw distance. So you're not really missing out on a bunch of features for a less expensive offering on LG's projector line, which is really cool. All right, with that out of the way, let's look at some projectors. So out of the 4 projectors that LG sent me, let's start with the most affordable and the smallest. It's the PF510Qc Full HD LED projector. So this thing only pumps out 450 ANSI lumens of brightness, but get a load of the price. And honestly, this thing packs a punch in its weight class for feature set and portability. All of the projectors on this list have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth audio, and WebOS in some fashion on board, as well as screencasting. This little guy has a 120-inch screen capability, which is not bad. And as you can see, this one really shines in environments where you can control the lighting. So in places where you can turn all of the lights off, make sure that there's minimal ambient lighting, in cases like that, this thing will be amazing for you. This is perfect for bringing into a meeting or just throwing in your bag. Actually, I wonder if LG will even notice if I just leave it in my bag. All right, next on the list is the ProBeam BU40QS. This is a sub $2,000 laser projector with WUXGA resolution, a slightly extended resolution of 1920 by 1200 instead of the standard 1080. That's a 16:10 aspect ratio instead of a 16:9 aspect ratio, so you'll want to make sure that if you're creating content specifically to put on this projector, that you let your client know beforehand. However, you can definitely set this to a 16:9 aspect ratio whenever you want. This one has 4,000 ANSI lumens of brightness, and it has 4 points of vertical keystoning. So some of the challenges that can come when you have a smaller or less powerful projector, you're going to be able to overcome a lot of those challenges with this model. And with this model, the lens shift is manual. It's a dial. I actually thought that I had broken it as soon as I got it out of the box. It's not broken. All you have to do is just turn the dial on the side, and then you can adjust your horizontal and vertical lens shift, whichever one you need to change. And if you're already familiar with LG's line of projectors, this one and the previous one are actually brand new this year. Really excited to be able to check them out. All right, let's go bigger, brighter, and bolder. We've got the ProBeam BU60PSM. Now this is a massive jump between the ProBeam BF40QS because now you have 4K Ultra HD resolution built into the unit. So in addition, you have 6,000 ANSI lumens of brightness and a 21:9 aspect ratio, which is pretty much double a 16:9 aspect ratio. So you have lots of screen real estate to be able to play with. Now, why would you want this? Now, a lot of businesses are actually deciding that they want to put more things on the screen at the exact same time, and 16:9 and even 16:10 aren't necessarily cutting it when you want a Teams call and a PowerPoint presentation all up on the screen at the same time, really big. Or in other cases, you might want to be able to project content that is already made for a larger aspect ratio, like potentially short films or even feature films. So when you don't really know exactly what type of content you want on your screen, but you want that flexibility, the ProBeam BU60PSM is going to be perfect for this. And finally, we get to the flagship model of LG's projector line, which is the ProBeam BU70QGA. This thing is absolutely gorgeous in every single way. It's a whopping 7,000 ANSI lumens. Short of being outside, And honestly, maybe even being outside, you're totally set in overcoming any of those challenges that I mentioned earlier. But wait, there's more. There's actually a lot more features to love with this one, like edge blending. Edge blending allows you to be able to take multiple projectors, in this case, ProBeam BU70QGAs, and stitch the images they project together to be able to create one unified, massive image. See, with this projector, you can really start to think beyond the boardroom. You can start to do things like art installations and small theaters and even permanent digital signage applications. Oh, and did I mention that this thing actually has the full version of WebOS built into it to allow you to be able to use SuperSign and push digital signage directly to the projector? Well, now I did. And with 25 points of warp keystoning and with the built-in camera that automatically scans your screen and auto-adjusts your image to fit to the screen, this thing is amazing for all digital signage applications. So if you want the same type of experience that you're already used to with LG's digital signage solutions, you're definitely going to want to choose the ProBeam BU70QGA. Think this one is too big for me to hide? We'll see. So we've covered 4 projectors that hit different markets and applications. So how are we going to be able to make an informed decision on which type of LG projector to use, especially the ones that we didn't mention? So all of these are actually going to do really well in the sort of ideal projection room type of environment where you're about 10 to 15 feet away from the screen and it's very minimal or non-existent ambient light. So if you do have some ambient light that you can't control but you still want to project a great image, I would recommend starting at the BF60PST and going above from there. If you need 4K resolution, I would start at the BF50NST and above. And if you need short throw, you can go with the ProBeam BU53RG. Not only is it a short throw projector, which cuts the distance that you need to have the projector from the screen in half, but it also is a 4K Ultra HD resolution, 5000 ANSI lumens, 21:9 aspect ratio, and it has the full version of WebOS with SuperSign, which allows you to do all of the things that you want to do with digital signage with a short throw projector. If you need high brightness, 4K, and 21:9 aspect ratio, I would highly recommend going with the ProBeam BF60PSM. And as for the flagship model, the ProBeam BU70QGA, this one's really designed to be installed somewhere. So it's got Crestron and room control options built into it. It's got the SuperSign with WebOS. Overall, you're really going to want to put this somewhere and leave it there. It's not really designed to just be thrown onto a cart and wheeled in and out. So it still will be really great for boardrooms where you can't control the ambient lighting at all and you never want to turn the lights off. But it's really going to be great in situations where you need the really high brightness, the 4K Ultra HD resolution, 21:9 aspect ratio, and all the edge blending and the 25 points of keystoning. It's absolutely incredible. So there you have it. LG is just turning boxes into solutions yet again with their amazing line of commercial grade projectors. And these aren't just run-of-the-mill projectors either. LG puts a lot of engineering and forethought into how people are using projectors and the types of spaces that they're using them in, and then gives us all the types of projectors we would need to be able to accomplish a great projection in each of those spaces. So I hope I was able to explain everything to you in a way that you can really understand and make that informed decision. But if you need some more help, or if you're ready to buy one of these projectors now, or maybe a lot of these projectors now, contact the fine folks at EXERTIS Almo. They will be happy to help you out. Thanks for tuning in. I'm King Friday, and I'll catch you on the next one.